Good morning, guys. Hope you're having a great day, great Monday. What an amazing day in the group yesterday. Many of you guys nailed Tesla. I also missed that one, but Tesla, man, congrats to all the guys that played. Some of you guys just absolutely nailed it. You're probably done for 6 months, right? On that move on Tesla. So congrats. But when stocks run, that's exactly what happens. And not only Tesla, but many other names that we nailed in the market: EQOS, METX. I mean, you guys name it. There's so many names in the group called out by so many great traders, right? What an amazing community that we have. But SPY overnight, nothing. Rip mode, opening at all-time highs. What more bullish can be? We're at all-time highs. So many, some traders are still trying to call a top. I mean, they just don't understand. I just can't believe it. They're so stubborn. They're just trying to call a top. In 5-6 years, yes, you will be right one time because there will be a top at that one time, right? But, anyways, playing levels and my stock life for the last ever since we started doing this pre-market, post-market, we've always given you guys a lot of secrets, right? Playing levels is the best way to play the markets because you will be right every single time. All right, but right now we were continuing with our small sizes, but market is back into the bull trend again. I mean, all-time highs. You guys can increase your size a little bit if you guys want, but obviously manage, right? You don't want to go all heavy in. Maybe they might flush it here, who knows, right? But so far, bullish, all-time highs. I love the market right now. Continue holding 450. We might have a year-end rally, and that's exactly what's happening ever since make this comment. Now we are gapping up. SPY, obviously, what we still want to see is continue holding above 450. 450 test can be maybe this week or even next week. They can still test it back, or they can just continue going up slowly with small dips along the way. All right. So let's see today if we just continue holding or if we rip all the way up. Right. There is some deal. I think $2.5 and $3.5 trillion deal that the Democrats are trying to push, along with Joe before he leaves on Thursday for his Europe trip. So we might get some news from the Feds today or tomorrow, or some comments regarding that. All right. So keep an eye on that. Q's also not at all-time highs, but it's almost there. The number that matters here is, I think we gave that to you guys before. It was 382 hold is what we need for all-time highs. We likely see 390 and 400 above this. And obviously, who will benefit? The tech stocks that are running, they will benefit off this, right? We don't want this to be a double toppy action, right? Because Qs yet have to break all-time highs. But let's see if it does it today. We have tech earnings on tap. Facebook reported earnings yesterday, so we'll go over that. Facebook reported earnings. Now they beat their earnings per share, so they beat the earnings, but their revenues, there was a slight miss. But one thing that was really great about Facebook, that the comment that they made, a $50 billion buyback. $50 billion buyback is huge, right? They're buying a big chunk of their company back, and they might even start doing it right here at the 200-day moving day average, right? They might slowly keep it here and start making it. And based on those news, now yesterday, if you attended the session live that we did, what you can do if you're really smart and you have a big account is start selling these put credits. You can take all this premium you want. I mean, Facebook is, if Facebook doesn't go up, it's likely to hold above 320 levels. All right, so you can start collecting this premium to the downside by selling puts, right? You sell maybe 320 puts and you buy the 310 puts for protection, and you keep that premium. All right, so these are some of the strategies that you can use. And if you want to go long on Facebook, I would buy lots of time, because even with the buyback, sometimes they consolidate the stock for a long time. All right, and they slowly buy it. And so just keep an eye on Facebook. But Facebook was great for Twitter, right? Twitter is up a little bit pre-market. Just know these numbers on Twitter, guys. Above 65, 70 solid hold, 100 will be fast. There will be options that will go from 10 cents to $5. There will be options that will go from 50 cents to $10 on Twitter. Above 70. Just keep that in mind. That's the only tip I'm going to give. Let's see when that happens. Does it happen this month on earnings, next month, or the month after? I have no idea. But when it happens, it's going to be a huge move, just like Tesla, percentage-wise in options. Okay, so keep an eye on Twitter. I do have Leaps. I bought Leaps. DKNG, one stock that I want to talk about. These are the drawings that we have from before. There's one number that I'll give you guys here. Which was right here. Yeah. 51.32 we likely see 54.55 on DKNG. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say. If DKNG takes out $51.30, we will likely see 54.55 on DKNG. If it takes out 51.30, I will likely play spreads on DKNG to the upside. Right now it's gapping up. I just don't want to get stuck in this chop, because even though the Entain deal is off, I just don't want to get stuck in this chop. Alright, so maybe once it's through 51.30, I'll play spreads or something, or maybe call the loan towards 54.55. And we'll probably do it live on the voice chat if I do play it. Right, so keep an eye on DKNG. It's also a great long-term stock, I think. Right, it's just basing in this zone right here, and the weekly 50-day moving average is 54 bucks, also just like a magnet range. So above 54.55, then obviously we have a nice little uptrend towards 80 and 100 and whatnot. All right, so keep an eye on DKNG. The deal is off. That's something that can go. All right, 51.30 is a number in these through and hold, and we see 54.55 and so on. Okay. UPS beat their earnings. The best thing on earnings that can happen is when the company says we're raising our guidance outlook, right? That basically means we're gonna do better than what you guys are expecting us in the coming on our next earnings or in the full year, whatever the expectations were, right? So here we can definitely see a big move on this. And as you guys can see, when it broke the base out last year, and this is a weekly chart I'm looking at, by the way, right? Nice little rip, consolidate for weeks, nice little rip, and now it's, you know, above this descending trend line. Let's see if we can stay above. Right now pre-market is opening on near the highs. If it takes our all-time highs, which was, I believe, 219, so 219, 220. If it takes out 219, 220, we're likely going to have a nice little move to the, towards upside towards 230. All right, so 219, 220. Maybe I will not buy this today, because I do expect some consolidation in these levels here. And in the coming weeks, UPS is setting up. On the daily, we have so on the daily also there's a lot of resistance here. Just keep this in mind. Don't get sucked in it. Right, it will be very hard today. Maybe it might just go sideways. However, if it takes out 219, 220, that's when I want to play UPS to the upside if I do. All right, but something else that you can keep an eye on is Fedex. Based on UPS, Fedex is something that can move now. Right, nice little dip all the way from 320 all the way to 220. That's a big dip. That's a 33% drop in the stock. And now above these levels, if it continues holding above 235, 239, we do have a gap fill all the way right here towards 250. So that's a 20-point move that you can catch. Right, buy some time, because they can definitely, even though the UPS earnings are strong, it's up pre-market, they can definitely consolidate the stock around these levels right here. They can still consolidate the stock right here, because we are near resistance. Remember this, we are near resistance here. All right, so they can keep this stock between 240 and 230 for a while. So you want to buy time if you do happen to play FDX, and then we have a gap fill all the way towards right here. Okay, so that's FDX, and then we have Tesla. Just an amazing move yesterday. It broke out, huge volume, life-changing option moves in Tesla, right? I kind of wish I called something, right? I wasn't here Thursday or Friday. Who knows? Maybe I would have played. I have no idea. But Tesla, I think, as long as $1,000 is the key level now, as long as $1,000 keeps holding, we see high. But I will give you guys one thing. Yesterday pre-market, by the way, this move was given to you guys. Guys, 950 hold by 10 a.m. LB also covered post-market that we see 1,000, 1,050, and it happened in one day. Here, 970 test can be a nice bounce play if happens. All right, I will be looking to enter Tesla if we do get 970. If we don't, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna pay these crazy premiums. I'm not crazy. I will just let Tesla run, let it set up, make a top reaction, maybe play to the sideways or downside later on. That's fine, right? But 970 test can be a nice bounce play if it happens. All right, because 970 and all-time highs is 1,045. That will be a nice 75-point move that you can take advantage of if it happens. All right, 970 test, and maybe this will set up for a nice little Friday lotto. So Tesla, I'm personally gonna wait. Congrats to those that are in. Pfizer, I bought the range yesterday, right? We bought the range. LB was playing Moderna. He really follows up with the vaccine stocks, and then I looked at Pfizer. Technically, I'm like, you know, why not make a little small play? So I bought the 43s and sold the $44 calls, and I bought a lot of time on my calls. So even if Pfizer stays in this range right here, like around here, I'll make my money. right? And if it goes up, I make money regardless. And if it dips a little bit, consolidates here, I will probably buy back the 44s for cheaper, lock in profits on those, and keep the 43 calls for the curve until I have time. All right. Moderna also ripping pre-market. Congrats, I'll be a great play. He was yelling in my ear all day yesterday. Moderna, Moderna. I think it's a pull towards the 50-day moving average, which is 381. So Moderna likely above 360. If it gets above 360, so 360, you guys will likely see 380 on Moderna, just based on some technicals that I follow. All right, and pre-market is almost there, so through 360, 380 can happen fast. And I believe LB's number is 390 if I'm not wrong. So do keep an eye on Pfizer and Moderna, and then Tdoc, a stock that we have kept our eyes on for a very long time. We haven't added a position yet because we want our confirmation, right? And these are the drawings that we have from before. So let's just go over Tdoc. And I do see some people in the group mentioning Tdoc, right? So their CAGR is really high, compound annual growth rate. You guys can look at all those things. All right, so Tdoc, guys, this is a daily chart, and I'm just gonna pull up the weekly here for you guys. Nice little rip on this chart. Very volatile stock. To be in this stock, you guys have to understand their potential, and you guys should be able to have a very good risk profile when playing such stocks. The reason being is the moves are so wild. Are you okay buying equity at 283 and hold it at 144? Many people probably put millions here and they're still holding. If you know, Kathy was still adding Tdoc right here at the highs, but she's still holding, right? Because she knows that it's not for 1 year or 2 years. She probably has it for a long term, right? And she doesn't have emotions involved. I've seen Kathy buy stocks at such high prices, and I've seen cut those same shares at low prices later on. Because for her, if opportunities are somewhere else, she will simply ship the money without emotions, right? So sometimes as a trader, that's what we need to be. So that's something I learned from her ever since I've been following her for the last 10, 12 months. Anyways, Tdoc right here in this zone before the prior breakout in 2020 in March, right? It had a nice little base in from 2018 till 2020. It broke out from 90. It had a nice little move up, right? A lot of profit taking, and then obviously a lot of these stocks, gave up gains. And now Tdoc, the best thing here is that it's holding this support level right here, the previous supply and demand zone, which was just near 120. As long as Tdoc continues holding above 120, right now it's up, obviously it's up 20 points from 120. It's a very strong base. I think it's a great equity play. However, if you want to play options, I highly suggest you buy time here. I'm just going to draw something for you guys, just based on my experience. Buy the 2023 options, which are in this zone right here. All right. So if I was to play Tdoc, I would buy the 2023 options personally, just leaves to add with, right? It's up to you how you guys do it, right? That's my opinion I'm sharing. And the reason being is because this stock can easily continue going sideways for a long time. It might even test 170-ish and then continue going sideways. If you take your profits, great. And then maybe we might have the little rip. You're giving yourself enough time to give it a nice little rip when it happens, if it happens. But 120 will be a must hold on Tdoc. And on shorter time frames, if you do want to play it on short term, then the level that you guys need is above right here, this level right here, which is 150. So if Tdoc takes a 150, you guys can probably see a move towards 160. All right, if you want to play short term, 150 through and hold, 160 plus comes. All right. So 150 through and hold on Tdoc, 160 comes. When playing options, it's okay to buy options at a higher price with more confirmation. All right, that's why you buy options with confirmation. We don't care. I don't care if Tdoc gets 230, 250. That's fine. I'll buy options here. So some of you guys try buying the options when you guys try to find a bottom in stocks to buying options. If you start doing that, I mean that's good. I mean I also look for bottoms, but confirmation is the best thing because your chances of being right will be very high. All right, so 150 through and hold on Tdoc, 160 will come, and then so on. All right, and Twitter we already went over. Any other ticker that you want me to go over, LB, or any ticker that you guys have? Entain for UPS, it's already up pre-market. UPS. Yeah, I'll give you a play on UPS. You guys want a UPS play? Okay, so let's see what UPS is opening up at. Here's what I think UPS will do. Is a very common pattern. I've been going over this for many months and many times on point. right? I'll give it to you guys. UPS will dip. If UPS dips towards, just give me 1 second, let me see. Okay, here. UPS dips toward 207 and takes out 210 again, I'd buy calls. That's what I would do. If UPS dips to 207 in the morning and it takes out 210 within like half an hour, right, by 10 a.m. So UPS right now is opening up at what, 212, I believe. If it dips to it could be 208, 207.50, right, 208.50. I might be off by $1, right, not the exact number, but around 207. If it dips and takes out 210 again, I'd buy calls for the same day. Then we might have a nice little rip. All right. AMD just a crazy move. You know, we were blessed with leaps. We had the $100 calls 2023. We bought them at I believe 20. They hit $40. Many averaged down at 10 in these weeks, and they're up huge. 112 was our number. 112 was a must hold on AMD, and that's exactly what it did. It just ripped, right? And 110 retest. This was before the comments were made. This is a very good pattern. It's kind of like a falling wedge. I don't know how I missed this. Should have played it. Right, a nice little on a rip. So guys, this is a falling wedge pattern if I'm not wrong. Right, right here. Right, and as soon as it broke out of this zone right here, nice little bull flag, boom, and 112. Here's where the hold came. It held for almost 1-2 days and ripped. AMD right now is at all-time highs. For me on the daily, it's a little extended. If we can get a pull towards 116. If we can consolidate here for a while and then do something like this, I would love to play AMD. The reason I won't buy AMD here is because the IV is very high. It went straight from 100 to 123, and these options are priced very high. All right. LB did give me this move about before it happened. He told me it's gonna go nuts. It's gonna go nuts. We were in calls, right? Took a little bit of profits, but the only thing I can say here is if you're playing AMD. Right, 120 is a must hold, right? If it fails 120, they will calm down the premiums. I think 116 retest is likely, right? 116 retest likely in my opinion. It might not happen this week, or maybe it just continues ripping because sometimes when these stocks go crazy, they do go crazy. But I do know one thing, there is some selling that will happen here. I'm pretty sure, based on technicals. All right, so just keep an eye on AMD. And 10B, TNB. Tenable holdings, let's just go on the weekly straight so we can see. Okay, so just based on the weekly, Hamza, this zone right here is gonna consolidate for a bit, and I think it's gonna consolidate between these prices for some time. So what you wanna do this is play on a fresh breakout. If you play this on a fresh breakout, your chances of being right will be much higher on this name. And if you know about this company, you've done some deep analysis, you know it's gonna go up, then that's a different story. Then I will start scaling in slowly, right? Something that I wanted to go over today was scaling in. Let me just go here. If you guys are buying leaps, right, what is scaling in, guys? You know, sometimes many charts are set up and we look at them. How do you play leaps on those? Let's say, for example, if I wanted to buy tail rip, just an example, right? So what you do is you buy in. Let's say your original size is 10 contracts, just an example, okay? Is 10 contracts and you're buying leaps. How do you scale in? My first buy-in, depending on how confident I am on the trade, might be just 1/3, right? Might be at 1/3 at, let's say for example, the current price is $2 on an option. So my first buy-in will be 1/3, right? So I will spend $600 in total. Right, my balance is, just an example, my balance is $1,200 remaining based on a full size position. Let's say after a week, the stock is ripping, it goes up nice, right? Technical setting in, maybe now the price is 250, right? But I still like the leap to the long side. So I buy in another 1/3, or maybe I'll buy 2 at 250. Or let's say I buy 2 at 250, right? And now my balance is 700. And let's say after a month, we get a dip or it consolidates, the options go lower to maybe 160 or I don't know 150. Now I buy the entire position here, buy all with the remaining balance. right now you have a nice little average on your options, which can give you a huge move. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? Let's say if I was playing this chart alone, right? Let's say you were playing this chart, and because of the IV, options always lose value. Let's say this was 10 of just an example. So you started buying leaps right here, right? Let's say you started buying leaps right here. Initially they went up, and then you got the dip, IV kicked in, your options were actually much cheaper now, and you were stuck in this entire move. But because you were scaling in slowly, you got the best average. You got the best average of this entire move, and boom, a nice little rip. That's what scaling in is, guys. Makes sense? So, but this requires a lot of patience. It's not an overnight play. It's something that you manage and you follow along, right? A play that I do see with scale in happening right now is Tilray. If anybody's interested, I am in my leaps right now, right? Do your DD, see if you want to play this. So for Tilray, above a 12 hold, we likely see 14. You can have you can have a first scale in here, in my opinion. This is a weekly chart we're looking at on Tilray. So first scale in would be here for me, right, which it already is. And after 2-3 weeks, if it continues consolidating here and holds these levels, I might buy more, because the sideways movement will take out some premium from the leaps as well. So my average will come down. And now on the next pop, I can look to take exits, right? So that's what scaling in is in position. Sometimes in leaps you don't have to go all in. A play that was made yesterday was Lucid, right? So I bought the leaps 2023. LB's already in them from many months ago, I believe, right? And so Lucid was a company that I've been following for many months, and I think finally it's making a base. Tesla is strong, and I think it has potential. And so yesterday I scaled in my first leap here. I did not go in all position, right? I bought a couple of contracts, and if it goes up, great. I already have the profits. I'm going to be in money, right? Why do I need to make money overnight? But if it dips here, it consolidates for 2-3 weeks. Those leaps might, our entry was $8.60. I might get them at 7, so I'll buy 1-2 more at 7, right? And then I might even get them at $6 if Lucid tests 22. I'll buy 1-2 at 6, so that I average the best out. So my price stays near break even via scaling in, and then boom, on the rip, I make my money. That's what scaling in is. All right. Wow. Spot. Last chart, guys. I need to open up my platforms as well. But spot, I have these just support and resistance. That's all I can say on Spotify. Above 255 is the number that I have written down here. Above 255, it can see a move much higher. Next resistance is 265, and downside we have all the way towards 225. But it's above here, I think 265 can come on Spotify if it holds 255. And Bucky, Netflix, and Hamza, Amazon, I will go over in the chat on voice chat. I'll see you guys. Take care.